Good evening. The news summary for this Wednesday, 20th January. The Ministry of Health indicates that to date, 10,976 people working in essential services have been vaccinated against COVID-19. The largest group of people ever to be vaccinated, 1,904 employees of these services, received their vaccines at the Yellow Roof of Seychelles Hospital. The President of the Republic, Wivarum Kalawan, will deliver his State of the Nation address on Friday. Once the speech has been delivered by the President, members of the National Assembly will have the opportunity to debate and give their answers to this speech. This process will begin next Monday with the reaction of the Leader of the Opposition, Sébastien Pillet, followed by that of the Leader of the Government Business, Bernard Georges. Then the other members will give their reactions to the speech by the President. PUC says it is satisfied with the response it is getting from customers paying for its services online. It says more people are starting to use platforms such as the PUC online platform and bank applications and that they are continuously working on it. The officer in charge of the traffic section, Assistant Superintendent Antoine Denous, has confirmed that there has been no fatal accidents since the beginning of this year. ASP Denous said that the police has been receiving many calls since yesterday regarding allegations that there are people who died in accidents this year, and that is false. Meanwhile, he says that since the start of the year up to now, the police has recorded 91 accidents in total. He says that the main cause of these accidents are alcohol consumption and speeding. The minister responsible for energy and climate change, Flavien Joubert, has addressed the 11th session of the International Renewable Energy Agency, IRENA, Assembly. This took place in a virtual setting from 18th to 21st January. The sessions were live streamed on the IRENA Assembly Live webpage. The event brought together heads of state and heads of government, ministers, and energy decision makers amongst its membership and state in accession, as well as multilateral organizations, global stakeholders, and private actors to reassess long-standing assumptions, perceived barriers, and default decisions, and discuss the energy transition as an investment in the collective future. A high-level ministerial plenary session on national energy planning and implementation for fostering energy transition was held yesterday during the 11th session, and Minister Joubert delivered the following intervention.
Seychelles was on track to meet its 5% renewable energy target for 2020, but due to COVID-19, we had major delays in development and commissioning of 3 big projects. These are a 5 megawatts PV farm, a 5 megawatt floating PV plant, and also the commissioning of a centralized battery storage system to allow for further renewable energy integration. The pandemic, however, provides us an opportunity to take a step back and assess the progress we have made. Under the Climate Action Enhancement Package of the NDC Partnership Program, Seychelles has received support to review its NDC energy policy, energy legislation to enhance the quality, increase the ambition, and implement our national determined contribution. Faced with the hard lessons of the COVID pandemic, Seychelles is renewing its emphasis on small-scale and medium-scale renewable energy systems, as well as developing a framework for energy efficiency to address minimum energy performance, energy efficiency in buildings, energy market, and promotional schemes and financial incentives. Seychelles is also greening its outlying islands to run mostly on solar battery hybrid systems. And its program to install PV systems in our schools recently received an international award. Mr. President, with COVID, we see the continued need to access appropriate financing that will facilitate energy transformation to meet our international commitments. increased ambitions of our NDC cannot be realized if we do not address challenges such as varied, fragmented financing and stringent procedures that do not consider local conditions and expectations. Small island developing states really need access to appropriate financing that will facilitate energy transformation and support the implementation of the Paris Agreement commitments and achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. To conclude, Seychelles recognizes the importance that IRENA places on renewable energy as a catalyst for development and believe IRENA is the ideal framework through which to facilitate such transformation to a low-carbon future.
Due to the coronavirus outbreak, the Land Waste Management Agency LWMA has said that there'll be a delay in implementing a waste sorting and collection system project that was due to start this year at Ile Perseverance. The delay is in the second stage of the project, where officials had to meet the individual households to give more details about a calendar for waste collection. Meanwhile, LWMA's Deputy CEO Rahul Mangu says that they have already more than 900 bins which will be distributed to every household as part of the project.
Up to March, we're supposed to roll out with the second phase, which consists of the tender process to secure a contractor, waste collection contractor, as well as roll out with the contracts door to door and a bit more meetings one-to-one with the members of the public household level. Unfortunately, because of the COVID situation and because of the restrictions in place, we cannot put ourselves at risk. The public, as well as our staff members, put them at risk of catching COVID. And for that reason, the project is getting the delay, inevitably, and that will have to be something that we have to live with. Once the restrictions are lifted and once the situation improves, then we will roll out immediately, and on the second phase, and then we'll roll out on the third phase later on.
That's the end of this news summary. Join me at 8 for the news bulletin in Creole. Until then, have a pleasant evening.